Many people believe loneliness is the absence of other people. Carl Jung believed something much deeper. He believed loneliness often begins when we become strangers to ourselves. This may sound strange at first. After all, how can someone be disconnected from themselves? Yet if we look closely, many of us spend our lives doing exactly that. We stay busy. We distract ourselves. We fill every empty moment with noise, music, television, social media, conversations, work, anything to avoid being alone with our own thoughts. But Jung noticed something important. What we avoid does not disappear. It waits. The fears we ignore, the emotions we suppress, the questions we never ask ourselves, they remain beneath the surface, quietly shaping our lives. This is why loneliness can feel so uncomfortable. Not because we are alone, but because solitude removes our distractions. And suddenly we begin to encounter ourselves, the parts we have neglected, the parts we have hidden. Jung called this the shadow, not because it is evil, but because it contains the aspects of ourselves we refuse to acknowledge, our insecurities, our regrets, our anger, our fears, even our unrealized potential. Most people spend years running from this shadow. Yet the more we run, the more fragmented we become, and the more loneliness follows us. Because loneliness is not always the absence of connection. Sometimes it is the absence of self-connection. Jung believed that healing begins when we stop running, when we become curious, when we sit quietly and ask difficult questions. What am I afraid of? What part of myself have I rejected? What truth have I been avoiding? This process is not comfortable, but it is transformative. Because every step towards self-understanding reduces the distance between who we are and who we pretend to be. And when that distance begins to shrink, something remarkable happens. Loneliness begins to change. It no longer feels like an empty room. It becomes a conversation, a meeting, a reconciliation. For the first time, we begin to feel at home within ourselves. Jung understood that no relationship, no achievement, and no distraction can replace this inner work. Because the longest relationship you will ever have is the one with yourself. And the more deeply you know yourself, the less frightening solitude becomes. In the end, Carl Jung left us with a timeless lesson. Do not run from loneliness. Listen to what it is trying to reveal. Because sometimes loneliness is not a sign that something is missing. It is an invitation to discover what has been waiting inside you all along.